Hey, good morning. I didn't click the intro button as that countdown. I'll tell you what, does not give you any sort of relief in regards to as soon as the clock strikes one, which it will be here in El Paso, Texas. We'll be striking one when we kick off today versus Southampton at St. Mary's Stadium. And Kate, we were talking before the show. First of all, it's just us two. Obviously, there's no Jim. Hopefully, Jim's okay. I don't know where Nick is. We don't know where Jose is. Ashmatic will be hosting the watch along on this very channel just a little bit later. But Kate, how are you doing? Not the most pumpy uppy of ups that we've felt in the most pump ways. Yeah?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Everything's a little bit flat with Spurs at the minute. I don't know how to think. I don't know what to think. I don't know where to turn. I feel like I need therapy, and we've not even kicked off yet. But we will do our best to plod through and try and be as positive as we can.
Well, I would say you can put a dress on a pig. However, it's not going to make the pig a ballerina. It's still going to be just a pig chilling in a tutu. But, it's not all bad. We've picked up some draws as opposed to some losses. But in the last 10 matches, 3 wins, 4 losses, 3 draws. It's not really great, is it?
No, it's not great. I mean, Southampton are sort of one of the worst teams, if not the worst team. But we all know, I hate to say the words Dr. Tottenham, but, this is the sort of games. I think their only victory in the last 28 games was against Everton, which was 1-0. So, look, it's one of those. If Tottenham turn up, we should win this comfortably. But if they don't, then who knows? Jimbo's okay. Don't panic. I haven't thrown him down the stairs or anything. He's just not feeling 100%. He was up really early, not slept very well. And so he's opted out of this one. But he has given me his score prediction for later. So don't worry about that.
Oh, okay. We got Jim's score prediction. That's good.
I've got it. Yeah. I'm trying to channel his positivity, but not that well at the minute. But who knows? When the lineup comes out, might get a sudden burst of, yes, this is going to be a walk in the park sort of energy.
Anytime I've felt that metaphorical walk in the park, it's been the opposite. It's been a battle of hell, and the rain and the mud is covering us. And Crystal Palace comes to mind, Ipswich comes to mind, Bournemouth. I mean, Bournemouth are a good side, admittedly, but you got to look at Crystal Palace and Ipswich, 2 teams who are looking for their first win. You play Tottenham, and then guess what? You got your first win. They do have their first win, so there's a little hope there that we aren't going to be as gifting, but Southampton are sitting in 20, 15 games played, 1 win, 2 draws, 12 losses. That's not great. -20 goal differential. They've scored 11 goals and conceded 31.
I shouldn't laugh. I really shouldn't laugh about that at all. But
it's not funny. They've conceded as many goals as we've scored.
It's a scary state of affairs that we're sitting in, nervous about this game. Really, we should be going into this full of confidence because they're the bottom team. But look, it is what it is. We are where we are. I mean, look at Palace. They couldn't buy a win. They beat us. Now they're 4 games unbeaten, beating Brighton earlier today. We just need something
3-1. Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah, and for me, he's got to win today. Ange Postecoglou has to win today. I don't think anything other than a win will be accepted.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I alluded to the same thing this week, really, that even a draw today, and I think you flip a coin on if the manager is even here next week or not. But it does seem strange to talk about sacking a manager when we're still in a quarterfinal of one competition and ostensibly in 2 others outside of that one that we have a quarterfinal later, in January. I don't know. For me, obviously, I think you know where I am at with it, Kate. If we lost or we drew, sacking Ainge is not the answer, in my opinion. Is he the answer to us winning right now? Clearly, that's up for debate because in the last 10 matches, to have 3 wins, that's just not good enough. Even if it was 3 wins and 6 draws, that's not really enough. But some of those have been some losses, and some of those, I feel really bad for him. He's talking about we're in a fight. We're taking kids out of school, asking them can they sit on the bench and Azerbaijan type of thing. And it's been like that this whole season, really, for me. Excuse me. So
Yeah.
to me, it was always we gave him the bare minimum, and what we're getting is bare minimum results, and it seems to correlate. That's why I'm not really upset at him specifically. I'm more upset at these players. I'm more upset at the players I hold at the highest standard at this club because I think Son is our best player, and he hasn't really stepped up the last four matches. James Maddison comes to mind. Christian Romero, when he was healthy, comes to mind. A lot of these guys have let us down this year. So to me, it's it is a manager's job to get the players up for it. It is a manager's job at the end of the day to get the results. So we haven't really gotten them, and I think that's why we're both. Big up Kaylee Davis, YouTube chat member for Tottenham TV, says choose optimism. I choose it, but I think it denied me at the door. Said, nope, you're not tall enough to ride this ride, sir. Even though you're 6'4".
We chose.
You're not old enough to get
it. Optimism did not choose us. That's what it is.
Yeah. It's like, when I was younger, I chose Selma Hayek, but she still don't know who I am, so it doesn't. I don't think it matters. Which shout out Selma. But big up everybody in the chat. Make sure you are liking the video. Look, we're like 12 minutes in. And I'll be honest, Kate and I were talking before the show. We're like, look, it's just us. Things are getting bad. It's not just Tottenham whose numbers are dwindling. It's the Weird Tottenham TV pump-up crew. We're dwindling. Luckily none of us are suspended by the FA, so to speak. But I'm gonna look at Twitter while you answer this question to see the lineup is out. So actually, you know what? The question is now moot and null and void, or moot and pointless. I don't know.
Please tell me Harry Kane's in there. Oh no, he's injured.
No Harry Kane. But Jed Spence starts.
Yay!
Jed Spence with a start. Yay! Jed Spence. Fraser Forster in goal. We got Jed Spence at the right back, a center back partnership of Archie Gray and Radu Dragusin. How does that make you feel, Kate? I'm going to assume not great. Destiny Udogi at the left back. Popsar, Lucas Bergvall, James Maddison is the midfield. Kulusevski, Solanke, and Son are the starting three. So, hey, we at least Son isn't the number 9, so that's good. I like our chances better with him on the left to get some Sonny results because I don't think Son is washed. I don't think Son is done. I think Son is just a little left too long in the oven. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But no Brennan Johnson. Let's see what the bench says. Brandon Austin, Pedro Porro, Alfie Dorrington, Ledley King. Ledley King is on the bench. I see King. I see Hardy. I see Olusesi, Timo Werner, Brennan Johnson, and Will Lancashire. Is it Ledley King's son? Is there some kid from the academy we did actually pull out of school like they were mentioning? What's his name?
I'm trying to find out what his name is because I did read about this kid, Mason King.
Mason King.
Yeah.
Well, if he's anything like Ledley, I think we're going to be all right.
Yeah. He is a left winger or midfielder, and then since then's become a left back. Haven't they?
No. So, that's very nice.
There we go. Quite surprised by the lineup, not going to lie.
Yeah. It is.
I expected Brennan to start this one, and I expected Kulu to be in the midfield. But when Kulu was on the wing before, he had a blinder.
Versus City, I believe it was.
Versus City, yeah. So who am I to question?
Well, you can question. My first question is, how are you? Let's just start at the back. Since it's just you and I, let's just have a conversation starting at the back. Fraser Forster, how has he been for you thus far? For me, I made jokes. I did the whole like he. We have Fraser Forster the tree he. And lo and behold, he seems to be the only dude who's being like, I'll put the team on my back right now. A lot of those draws were draws because of him. A lot of those losses weren't more embarrassing because of him. Now, for whatever that may be, I just need to publicly apologize and say, I'm sorry, Fraser, I didn't put enough respect on your name, but he is a big boss hog. And I'll be honest, when we're on a set piece or a corner, I feel pretty confident that big bat, he's going to come out and he's going to punch that thing. And it feels nice having like a big grown man in goal. I forgot what that was like almost for a while. But what have you made of Fraser Forster so far? And obviously, does he bring you fear still when you see his name in the lineup?
You
Not
know what?
implying that you felt fear. I don't know that you felt fear.
Oh, I did.
I did.
I did.
I
Yeah,
did.
I did.
So
I think most of the fan base has got to do an apology form for Fraser Forster, because every time he was on the sheet, everyone was like, "Oh no, that's it. We're going to lose." Yeah,
yeah.
but he's been incredible. Literally stepped up to the mark. I know we only drew against Rangers, but if we didn't have him, we would have been slaughtered. He's made so many vital saves. I don't know it. I don't know what's happened to him, but he's playing out of his skin. And yeah, you've got to put some massive respect on him. But he's an experienced player, and this is what we need. The players with the experience need to start standing up. The players like Forster, the players like Sonny and Madders, to show
Echoing
these kids.
what Ainge Postecoglou said about
Yeah,
Mr. Timo.
yeah, lead by example. I mean, I'm not at all impressed with what Ange did with Timo. I think that was bang out of order. That's me. I don't like throwing players under the bus, because if you're going to call out Timo, you've got to call out Son as well, because he's been poor. Don't just pick on Timo because he's short of confidence. The fans are always on his back. The papers are always on his back. The commentators are on his back. If you're going to call out one, you've got to call them all out, in my opinion.
Well,
but look,
on that note, I did actually want to talk about that a little bit, because I thought that, like, while he wasn't wrong, it just seemed like, why now? What was different about today? Because he's been that shit as much. He's had maybe just 2 games where he wasn't that bad. But outside of that, since last year, it's not been good at all. And it almost seemed like, for me, it was just like, why all of a sudden are you just talking about it now? It's like the steamy pile of poo's been in the corner over there steaming it up for a minute. And you haven't said nothing yet. You kept playing him. But I think it was more of the, like, I'm asking Oluseyi, Ledley King's grandson. He's not his grandson. I'm just making a joke. We're pulling kids out of school and saying, hey, you want to play for Tottenham Hotspur today? You might not see the pitch, but we just need numbers. We need a homegrown. We need someone who says, yeah, I'm a Tottenham lad through and through. And then we'll fill up the numbers. So I do see it as like, it just seems like the fire's under his butt a little bit. And now he's starting to, you start seeing the uncomfortabilities. You start seeing the I'm trying to make it out this cauldron alive kind of a mentality, like we saw with Conte, we saw with numerous managers throughout the years. It's like not a save your own ass kind of a mentality, but it's like look, well, hang on, like I'm telling him to do something and he's not. So it's how long can he continue to put the shield on, be the white knight for these players who continually let him down? And I think that him saying that was an amalgamation of he's reaching his limit of how much he can take from these players. And what came out afterwards was, no, he didn't. I agree with you. He didn't publicly mention Brennan or Son or any of the other senior players who were supposed to, Christian Romero, Madison. But Madison, he didn't need to say anything. He benched his ass. That said enough. Yeah. So he did publicly put Madison down as well. So it's not like he's excluding others, in my opinion. It just seems, why now? Is the boat starting to fill up with some water and you're getting nervous, is what it seemed like to me.
Yeah, and especially it's 24 hours or so before he said that he'd never publicly slag off the player, basically, and then turned his back and did exactly that. But you know what?
But that happens, right? Like when you tell a lie, it's hard to keep up with the lie. Yeah. Right? Whenever the push starts coming to shove, because you start forgetting what you said. You're like, well, this is how I actually feel. And what the truth starts coming out eventually. And I think that's what we're seeing, because Ainge is the kind of guy, a man's man, who's going to say, hey, I'm going to get in front of these players. I'm going to put it all on me. It's all on me. Timo messed it up. It's me. Inconsistencies, me. They missed those chances. It's me. Yes, it's my tactics creating those chances, but clearly there's something I'm doing wrong and why they can't get that last part. So he's taking it all on. And then when it's like, all right, now the beast is coming to claim its dues, so to speak, he's like, well, hang on. It's not, hang on, Timo let me down and I'm asking him to do this. But then what came out also was all the senior players are starting to feel the pressure, allegedly.
Yeah.
That's what allegedly came. I think, was it O'Keefe or someone said that?
Yeah.
All the senior players are feeling the pressure. I don't know.
I just think as soon as a manager starts throwing their players under the bus, that's normally the beginning of the end.
It is a little bit like the skies are turning green in the sense of you're in Tornado Valley. When the skies start turning a little green, you might have a tornado. But I'm hoping the sun will shine today at St. Mary's Park. Obviously, we've both apologized publicly to Fraser Forster. So big up to the dad, the team dad. They call him Team Dad. I'm a dad. He's a dad. We're all dads. Isn't that great? But look, Jet Spence, obviously, next to the partnership of the dynamic duo, just like us, Archie Gray and Radu Dragusin. It's us, Kate, the dynamic duo. What do you think with Jet Spence? What is this? His first or no, his second Premier League start? Because he started the first week because Destiny was hurt or Poro, something like that. So he's had one Premier League start, I think. I'll have to look it up. But how are you feeling seeing Jet in the? I'm pretty excited. I like to see that, honestly.
I'm delighted because I think Poro's been so bad recently and he's leaving so much space down that side. And Spence must be sitting there thinking, what have I got to do to get on this pitch? So I'm delighted. Every time I've seen
in his
Spence
preferred
play,
position. Not just on the pitch, but in where he wants to play.
But every time I've seen him do anything, when he's come off the bench, I think he's been impressive and done what he's needed to do. So I'm really looking forward. That's the highlight for me, the fact that Spence is starting. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do. As far as Gray and Dragusin, we'll have to see. I mean, Southampton shouldn't, by rights, be testing them all that much. But we'll have to see on the day. But I think Dragusin is developing all the time. I think he plays better when he's got someone stronger next to him. But obviously, we've got Romero and Van der Ven out, so we can't do anything about that. And Archie Gray, I kind of feel a bit sorry
and
for.
Ben Davies, really. Don't forget the Welsh Wall. We are missing the Welsh dragon, the myth, the legend. They write folk tales about the Sir Ben Davies. I put some respect, because me also, Ben Davies got a lot of crap from me. And I'll be honest, Erling Haaland can't stop scoring against a lot of people. And one of the persons he can't score ever in his career against is Ben Davies. So put some respect on the Welshman. But we are missing him. I feel a little bit better because every single time under Ange Postecoglou, I think there's one game where I've been like, he had two bad moments. I think one led to a goal, one almost led to a goal, and it was a miscommunication with Fraser Forster. I believe in the FA Cup this year, or the Carabao Cup this year, maybe it was Europa, I don't remember exactly. But there's been 2 or 3 times where I was like, oh, Ben Davies. But outside of that, I've been like, thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben. For someone that I wanted out last summer, the summer before that, the summer before that, the summer before that, the summer before that. I'm not a broken record. This is a guy I've said we should improve on for a long time, that he's not the difference maker. But, as a squad rotational piece, a senior player being asked to step up, I think for Ange Postecoglou, he has. Just sucks that he's down with an injury. But I'm not really confident with Archie Gray and Dragusin at center back. I think they both showed moments. I was like, who the hell did we just play? Rangers?
Yeah.
They both showed moments where I was like, good defending. But then there was also moments where I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing, buddy? Mm-hmm. So I'm a little concerned there. Destiny, same thing as I would say the entire back line, the entirety of the season. Largely inconsistent, and for the consistent parts, not good enough.
Yeah, I would agree. Do you not find it a little bit concerning, Jacob, that we're getting the same problem that Ange had at Celtic, where the players are dropping like
Ange could beat Celtic he could beat Rangers with Celtic, by the way. He wins versus Rangers. Yeah, is that what you're talking about?
No.
But the Scottish League, they say, the Scottish League is so it's so beneath me. It's so laughable, the accolades you get at the Scottish League. But a top 6 Premier League side couldn't even go to the Ibrox and get a win.
Yeah.
But Ainge can with Celtic. Other teams can. Hey, it's interesting. Anyway, we're not here to talk about what the naysay say. We're here to talk about what you say, Kate. I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's okay. No, what I was saying was there was articles when he was at Celtic that the players are dropping like flies, and they're saying it's because their training's so intense and there's so much running in this system, and there's so much this, and there's so much that, and there was a lot of hamstring injuries, and it seems to be deja vu. Exactly the same thing is happening with Spurs, and what worries me is that this system really isn't sustainable because our players are literally dropping like flies, and I can't have it that it's not something to do with that.
You know, I would say I never went to college for sports science, but I've worked in professional sports and I've seen folks talk about different things. I've listened to many discussions when I worked in the NFL, when I worked in the MLS, when I worked in the NBA with physio regimens and just biological makeup. So I have a very amateur understanding of how this all plays out. And half of it is what you're enduring, what you're going through, what you've been going through, and what you're continuing to go through. And that is the way that we play. However, Rangers rotated 6-7 players. We rotated 6-7 players. Why is it we are so superior, but we can't rotate, 6-7 players and get a result, 3 points away from home? We can blame it as much as I think we want, but I really see it as like the players also have accountability to take care of themselves. How is it that it's the young ones that are getting hurt with these hands? Like Son got hurt with contact. Dominic Solanke. It's Van de Veen who's gotten non-contact injuries. Who else?
Davis.
Ben Davies. Well, So that's 2. So maybe it is. There is something to be said about the back line specifically. Yeah. Those 4 people in the back line, what they're required to do is affecting their hamstring, because I know Romero's wasn't contact, but that's 2 center backs, Van de Veen and Ben Davies. That's non-contact, just running, stopping, running, stop. And, I'm not here trying to defend what the system does to the player's hamstring, because, again, I'm not a physio guy. I don't know exactly. But it's clear to say that there's something that is not right. But that's also been a problem here before, where we've had a lot of players going down with non-contact injuries, and they're gone for long durations of time. Odegaard and Richie was non-contact. Richie pulled his hamstring. Okay, Richie came on as a sub and pulled his hamstring. That sounds like Buddy didn't stretch enough. Like, that's on the player, right? To make sure you're limber, because you have the assistant coaches who are just like, all right, now over and up, over and up, and they do a little jump, and they do the kicky kick. So, a little bit of it to me is like, you got to take care of yourself as well. Because if you take care of yourself, like, Destiny hasn't been great this year, but he hasn't gone down with non-contact injuries. Every time he's gone out, it's been with contact injuries, and he just came back from surgery, and he's a young guy. James Madison, Bentancur, Basuma, Sarr, they've all, anytime they've had misses, it's for, well, one was racismo, but the other ones was, actual contact. So, to me, I think there is truth in both. It's not black and white. It's not like, yes, the system is ruining the players, or no, the system has nothing to do with the players. I think there's a bit of both. I think Richarlison, if you do a little bit more forward folds, you might not have pulled your hamstring when you came on for 10 minutes and assisted the game-winning or game-sealing goal, I think it was. So big up for him for that. But, yeah, Ben Davies, non-contact injury, Van de Veen, non-contact injury. Postecoglou alluded to his system at Celtic has costed the players physical abilities in the long term for the season. He admitted that he thinks that that's the case, but he has also said he doesn't change his system. So that would lead me to believe that if we're having the same problem, well, then maybe it is majority of what we're doing there because Odegaard, same thing. Dude's never been injured in his life. Yeah. He's never missed a pro game for injury. And he got injured.
Solanke was very rarely injured either. And then he played, I think, the first game for us and got injured or something ridiculous.
Yeah, it was something. Anyway, you pumped up yet? You feeling real pumped up? Because let's go ahead and take a let's take a look Let's take a look at Southampton's lineup now that we're all pumped up and feeling good. Yeah, we're all gonna. Our hamstrings are falling off. I feel like we're the. Oh God.
Oh dear,
Sorry,
so much
apologies.
fun being a Spurs fan.
It's like my wife. We were talking about Christmas stuff, and I was like buying the kids a couple Tottenham things, and she was like, "You're really gonna spend more money on that club that makes our life miserable?" I was like, "It doesn't make our life miserable. It makes
Just
me
mine.
miserable, and then I, in turn, bring the misery to you." So it's fun. It's
Oh,
good family fun, holiday cheer, joy. I had a rough day yesterday, and I set up the Christmas tree. That came out and was like, "When did you do this?" I was like, "I'm trying to spread some damn holiday cheer." And it's like, come on, Tottenham. That's how I feel. So their formation looks like they're going to be sitting way back. 4-5-1.
wow.
That's interesting. So in net, Alex McCarthy. Don't know who he is. Ryan Manning. I wonder if he's the long lost brother of Eli and Archie and Peyton. We don't know. Taylor Hardwood. That's a great name. John Bednarak. Kyle Walker Peters, old Tottenham boy.
Oh
Look at
no.
that. Tottenham boys coming back. Big up Kyle Walker Peters. I did think that he was going to get a move away that first time that they got relegated. I was like, I think he was good enough. I'd take him. He's better than, I think, by the time we had Serge Aurier or Emerson Royale and Doherty. I was like, I'd take him over them. But alas. So that's their back four. Three names I don't know. One name which is great, which is Tim Hardwood. And then Kyle Walker Peters. Yeah, we all know him. What a great guy. He's still friends with Son and Dele Alli. So a little remembrance of the old days when things weren't. We weren't winning then either. But why did things seem so much nicer and like friendlier and people were smiling and now it's like feels like New York City at Tottenham Hotspur. It's like, don't look at me. Get out of my way. I'm in a hurry. I've got meetings. And it's like, bro, it's a busy city. I get it. I don't know. Who's this
Jay
guy?
Bednarak used to play. He went on loan to Aston Villa, and he used to play for Southampton before. He's not a bad player, but he's very physical. I used to back him to get carded, and he used to get carded every game. So
Okay, so it's going to be a physical battle for Dom Bomb.
yeah.
Also, speaking of Dom Bomb, we actually didn't even finish talking about our 11 because we didn't talk about our midfield. But you mentioned, hey, that's okay, man. You don't have to be here. You could just you opened your computer and you clicked this link. That's on you, buddy. So when you spill your milk, don't blame the Americans. All right, how about that? No, so Dominic Solanke, they all said that he only scores against the bottom half teams. Sounds like he should be scoring today, right?
Yep, should be. Look,
What's your take on Dominic so far? Record signing, has he been enough?
Look, I really rate him, and I know people absolutely slate him because he doesn't score enough goals. But I do believe the goals will come when the service comes. It's not just because he works hard, because I agree that should be a prerequisite for every player. But his pressing's brilliant. He's strong. He wins the ball back. Yeah, I'm really impressed with him. If we'd have paid 30 million for him, people would be saying that he's doing a great job. It's not his fault that we chose to pay 65 million for him. But I think when we took him out of the team, you can see how much we miss him when he's not in the team. So I think he's been a good signing for us. But he needs to score more goals. But I think the goals will come. I think the whole team need to pull their socks up. But he would be, of the list of people that need to step up, he would be one of the players near the bottom for me because he assists and he builds up play to so many goals. He's not selfish in any way. That's why I rate him so highly. He doesn't try and score. He'd rather lay it off so someone else can score. And I really like Dom.
I like a lot of the things that he does, and a lot of people took what I said and extrapolated it into this crazy sense, but I really still stand by it because every time I watch him, and I'm talking about everything outside of the final third now. He does. That reminds me of Harry Kane. Hold up play, wins the ball back for us in the opponent's half, an hour half. His press is real nice. He's got a little bit more acceleration and burst than Harry Kane, so his press seems a little bit more like up yours. And there's a lot of things I think that he does well. But again, at the end of the day, when you get a striker, it's like with Ainge. You're the manager in a results-based business. You're not getting said results. Well, then that's on you. You're a striker and in a quote-unquote attacking system, you should be scoring goals. We score goals. We get lots of goals. He does assist, but at the end of the day, we're paying. We got a striker to score the goals. I've always felt though like these wingers were the two that are going to be the ones to either dictate whether we score or not. Because you see in our run of play, it's always that same. I call it the hot dog goal, and I don't know why. It reminds me of a hot dog because it's very simple. It's very easy. It's the same thing. You know what you're getting. The flavors aren't going to fluctuate based off of brand very much because it's just a fucking hot dog at the end of the day. So it's like Timo Werner and Brennan Johnson can effectively make a hot dog. Yes, I know that they can make a hot dog. They've proven they can make a hot dog, but I need someone with some hamburger skills. And I feel like Solanke's a guy who brings a little bit of that hamburger, a little bit of that relish, and he could bring us something. But again, when he missed a 1v1 chance, let's get it right, versus Chelsea.
Yeah.
He missed so did Sarr, so did Son. So you can't do like. I don't think you can do that, but I do sympathize with him because there was like 4 or 5 weeks ago, he had 6 chances created for him, and 3 of them were versus Leicester. And when that's the case, 3 chances created for you in the last 8, 9 Premier League matches, that is not good enough from those around you either. So it's like, I don't necessarily blame him completely for the lack of goals, but I do blame him for the chances he does get that he blows. And I think that, I don't know. I don't want to be too harsh, but I also want to say, man, you got to score those. You got to convert those because at the end of the day, you're killing us. Same thing with Son. I love Son. I think he is our best player. Again, I'm saying it again. I think Son is our best player. So he needs to play like it. He needs to hold that standard because I hold him up here. And when he's constantly hitting here, that gap is frustrating. It doesn't make me love him less. It doesn't make me think, I don't think he's cooked. Some people think he's done. They think he's washed. He's over the hill. He's this, he's that. I don't believe it because this man's son has always talked about his diet, taking care of his body. He has no wife, no kids. You know how much sleep I would get if I had no wife, no kids? You know how much Zen time alone, yoga, sitting here. Ooh, my muscles are loosening. You can do all types of stuff. No wife, no kids. You got all day to do whatever you want. So he's taking care of himself. He's always alluded to Cristiano Ronaldo being the pace setter of taking care of your body. Ronaldo's said me and Tom Brady are the likes, and they both playing and looking like till their 40s. So if Son can get anywhere close to that, I would say it'd be about 35 till I start saying he might be getting there. But even still, with my bias, I don't give a damn. I'm signing him to a lifetime contract. Doesn't mean he has to start. Just mean you can't go nowhere. Because I don't want to see him in a Barcelona shirt. I don't want to see him in anyone else's shirt. He don't need to go to MLS. He don't need to go anywhere. He's home. Stay here. We love you. And that's how I feel. And I don't run the books, but if I did, he's getting a lifetime contract. All right? And that's just what it is. It's just going to be what it is. What's your take on Son, though?
I love Sonny, and most of the time when people write him off, he comes back and proves us all wrong. But I am so concerned that he's lost that clinical edge this year. He just looks a shadow of himself, and I don't know why. I think we need to look to replace him as soon as possible. And then have him, I'm not saying get rid of him because I think he brings so much to that team and the club.
You say replace, though. If my wife said we got to replace you, what am I supposed to think? Wife says, you've been great these last 10 years, but you know what? It's time we replace you. You don't have to leave. You can still live here. We're just going to replace. I don't want to live here if I'm not the husband. What? Sorry. I don't mean. I was just thinking emotionally, how would I respond if...
get a younger winger in to start training up ready because Son, for me, he's got very little time left at this level. I've said it before that I think he's losing it, but it's the first time I actually really think that he's on the decline. And I don't want to think it because I love Sonny, but he's lost so much of his game. I don't think he's ever recovered from Harry Kane leaving the club. I don't think he's ever got back to where he was
You
before.
just reminded me of there's those highlight montages that they put together.
I know.
And it's like Son running and trying to jump on the back of Solanke. He doesn't grab, and he's like jumping on people. No one's grabbing him. And then they cut to Kane, and Kane just one arm. I got you, big buddy. And it was just like,
they were like brothers,
dear Siri, how do you know when the good times are currently happening? God, I miss Kane, man. I'll be so honest. I didn't think I'd miss that because I was just so covered with anger. Go to Schnitzelville, get your lederhosen. I don't care. And now it's like,
come back.
Miss you, big Kane. Miss you, buddy. Miss you, bud. And you see all the things. I don't know that it's him missing Kane, but a player like Kane makes everybody around him 10 times better. That's just what it is. And that's how we were able to scrape the bottom of the barrel recruitment wise and still be relevant because of Kane and Son. Because the elevation that they gave us, they could literally perform miracles. But I mean, it eventually is going to run out at some point. I ain't familiar with Mother Teresa too well, but I imagine there was a cap amount of miracles Mother Teresa could do. So even though Harry Kane is the greatest striker to ever grace the soils of England, I still miss him.
Yeah, I don't see Son and Solanke ever building that relationship because Son's too long in the tooth now for me to have the time to build that. And for me, that's what Son used to make that run and Kane used to just know instinctively where he was and vice versa.
He didn't even look.
No, they just knew where the other one would be. And I think Son just looks a shadow of himself. I just think he's on the decline and we've got to be prepared. We've got to start looking to bring in.
If the boat of Son is going down, you know who I am in Titanic? I'm the dudes with the cellos and the violins. I'm going down with it. I don't give a damn. I will never turn my back on Son. He's scoring a hat trick today. He loves scoring at St. Mary's. This is his game. He's turning it back on. The oven is heating up. Son will not stop. He will improve. He will get better. Even in his worst year while carrying a hernia, he's still got double-digit goals.
Yeah.
He is Heung-min dad. All right. We can't turn our back. But I do, God, I get so upset when he came. I don't remember where it was. I can't remember who the opponent was, but it was like, he came off the bench. I was like, yes, son, do it for us now, son. And then it was an offside goal. And then it was like, just nothing. It was like the next 6 touches after that offside goal, he gave it away. Bad pass. He dribbled right into the defender. Couldn't get around the guy. Again at Rangers, couldn't beat a man one-on-one. Who is that player at Rangers? I don't know. But Son couldn't get past him. And I worry. I'm not. No. And again, even if the whole building's on fire, I will rise like a phoenix from the ashes of the house that is burned to the ground. So, I hope Son can get it done. I just hope Son can get it done. I hope he proves everybody wrong. And I hope that it's not a slow decline. But again, Father Time is undefeated. He has not lost a single round. So, I worry for him. But I'm more worried about this midfield, I'll be honest. Lucas Bergvall, for me, he had a decent game versus Rangers. Showed some moments, some flashes where I was like, this guy looks like a legitimate, like there's a player in there. And then there's moments where he shows, I don't know where this kid's at. But he's partnered up with Sarr. He's got Madison also out there. What's your take on this midfield? Do you think it's pretty? I don't think it's very strong, but Basuma hasn't even been great either. So it's like, who do I don't know.
I think Bergvall has earned the chance to start, but I would have started Bergvall with Sarr and Kulu, and I would have left Madders on the bench, I think, and started Brennan up front. I haven't got any faith in Maddison at the minute. He's too hot and cold for me, and he's a sulker. and he goes down every 5 seconds when someone goes near him. It reminds me a bit of Bruno Fernandes, but not quite as irritating.
He's not as ugly.
And definitely not as ugly. But I think I think Bergvall has earned that right. I thought he was really good when he came on the other day.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Basuma's on. I saw. Big up Mud FC. I just saw it. Yeah, he's on accumulation. He picked up his 5th versus Chelsea. His 5th yellow, Basuma. So yeah, he was always going to be suspended. I forgot about that.
So yeah, there's not much of a choice, but I just personally would have sat Madders out for this one and stuck Kulu in the middle, and then
with Brennan on the wing.
Yeah, with Brennan on the wing, or I suppose he might do what Kulu might do what he did against City. He was very fluid. He went into the middle. He was all over the place, really. So look, we'll have to wait and see. But I just think our midfield we need a Dembele in there or a real strong midfielder because Basuma definitely ain't it. And I miss those days. I think Sarr is still developing. I think he's a really good player, but we need a stronger midfielder in there to take the lead. I don't think we've got that. I don't know what you think. More of a defensive midfielder.
Well, I think we just need Basuma. When he's hit his levels, I've been like perfect, beautiful. The first 9 matches last season, I was literally feeling like we had the B-Tech Dembele. I was like, look at the way he's middle of the park, controls the ball. He weaves through players, finds that pass. He wasn't as quite like 5 touch as the Dembele was, but it was like that. Those first 3-4 touches, then the pass, it looked really nice. And then it was like, then all of a sudden the first 2-3 touches on the ball looked very frantic, looked very lazy, and I don't like to be judgmental. And when I did a show on Yves Basuma's extracurricular activities that he posted on Snapchat, I said, could this be why his decision making is poor? We do know that this specific substance leads to poor decision-making skills. And if poor decision-making skills and being under duress and pressure of the, most intense league in the world, well, yeah, I think that pressure will cause you to make some mistakes. And I think seeing that from Basuma, for me, I've always thought, well, this could just be an amalgamation of his lifestyle choices, honestly, like a slow deterioration of the ability to make the right decision, because time and time again, he does not make the right decision. So it's like, that's just my opinion. I don't mean to be Nancy Reagan about it, but hey, you can call me Nancy Reagan. I'll be honest though. If you're a professional athlete and you're doing anything that hinders or impairs your ability to use cognitive thinking, you're being a detriment to yourself. And there's just no, like, even, smoking cigarettes is not good. That impairs your cognitive ability. And even if it's for a 5-second moment, a 10-second, 3-minute, whatever it is, that moment, over time, repeatedly, it could be, because there's no way, I can't fathom how the player at Brighton, who was bossing us every time we played Brighton, is that poor all the time. He's just good 25% of the time. I don't know. But anyway, no Basuma. Lucas Bergvall, I don't really have much faith in right now. I think in the future he could become something decent, but right now I don't really have a lot of, like, he's going to come in and do this and that, especially playing alongside Maddison, because I thought that his role was like that creative guy. However, he's said, along with Archie Gray and that Ask Me Anything they did on Reddit, they both said they see themselves as box-to-box midfielders. So that would effectively say he's not the prototypical 10. He's more of an 8, which Archie Gray would be the 8. But apparently, people say, oh, well, Archie Gray wants to play 6. According to that Reddit AMA, he says I'm a box-to-box, which is an 8, but I don't know. Hey, that's all semantics. I don't know. We're nearing the end of the show here, and I'm trying to pull anything why I'm like, you know what? We might be able to find some joy here, but I'll be honest. The wingers that we play against, it doesn't matter if I've never heard of him, like Fatawu. He was dribbling past Destiny all day. It doesn't matter if you have heard of him, if you haven't. Number 10s as well. I'm worried about wingers and 10s. So it looks like they have wing backs of Kalmadine Sulamana, the 22-year-old Ghanaian. I don't know who that is, I'll be honest. And then on the right-hand side, it looks like Tyler Dibbling.
That's a great name.
Dibbling. What are you doing over there? Nothing. I'm just dibbling. Don't worry about me. Joe Aribo, Flynn
Joe
Downs. This, like, who's their number 10? I don't know. It's one of these three. I don't know who it is. But Adam Armstrong is their striker. I do remember him from their last time here in the Premier League. He's a decent little striker, decently fast. He could challenge the back line. Might be able to cause some issues to the likes of Dragusin and Archie Gray. Because again, my hopes aren't through the moon with them, but it's not at the basement level. I don't know. Look, Kate, we're almost on an hour. Show's almost over. Watch along is going to begin here on Tottenham TV in just a little bit. But let me just, what's Jimbo got to say? What was Jimbo's score prediction for today? Maybe that could kick things off very nice.
Jimbo's score prediction was, as always, his words were, we're going to smash them 4-1. That was Jimbo's prediction. A big fat Tottenham 4, Southampton 1. So, no, you can say Jimbo's optimistic or slightly deluded or just a little bit crazy. And it's probably a bit of all of the above, but that's Jimbo. And he is convinced we're going to win 4-1. But thank you, Billy. Man United have just scored, so they've gone above us as well. So,
how much time's left in that game? This is what I get for not paying attention.
It's nearly finished, I believe. I don't think there's long left. I think City should have had a penalty as well. They didn't get it from Bruno, but I'm not 100% sure. 92nd minute, so.
Oh, and they're losing? Well, they can hold that.
They scored the 88th and 90th minute, Manchester United, a penalty, and then Diallo 2 minutes later. But, yeah, Jimbo said 4-1. He didn't give goal scorers, but I'm going to say that he would say Solanke to get a couple, Johnson, and probably Kulu, knowing Jimbo.
Oh, very nice. And Kate, what say you? What do you think's going to happen today? What's the score going to be for your prediction? Do you think are we?
This is one of the hardest predictions. Every week it's difficult because you never really know what team's going to show up. But I've done a draw. I've done a 2-2 draw. We're not very good away from home. This echoes of Dr. Tottenham and
St. Mary's.
I know, but look, I just can't see past. We've lost 3 of our last 4 away games. The only one we didn't lose was City, if you please. But
well, they're losing to Man United, so.
Yeah, Son has scored 10 Premier League goals at Southampton, which fills me with a little bit of hope. But I tried, and I just can't get past the draw. So, yeah, I've gone with a 2-2 draw. Sorry. It's difficult.
So if 2-2 draw happens, is Ainge getting sacked or what?
Well, for me, I mean, I hope not. I'm not saying I think Ainge is doing a good job or anything of that ilk, but I'd rather see Ainge see out the season than Ryan Mason 1,000,000%. And we kangaroo ball. We need to have a plan. If we are going to sack Ange Postecoglou, we need a plan to bring somebody in. We can't just sack him and put Mason there and wait till the summer. I'd rather see Ange finish the season. So, look, I don't think he will sack him before the Man United game if we draw. If we
draw versus Southampton, so the context around Southampton, apparently they are the Jack the Ripper of Tottenham Hotspur managers. I think of Poch. I think of Jose resting for Southampton, and they're like, "Don't you dare rest for Southampton." Conte's famous speech after Southampton, and now we're in a bad stretch of things. Everyone's going wah wah, and guess who we play? Southampton.
Jim is convinced that if we don't win today, Angie's gone, and I'm 50-50 because I watched Levy talk and I didn't get the impression that and I don't get the impression from Ange that he feels his job's at risk either. But I mean, come on, people. I get it that if they don't like Ange, but how can you want Mason ball over Ange ball? I can't cope with Ryan Mason. I just can't. So
Well,
hope he
I
gets
will
to the
not
end of
say.
the season.
You say Ryan Mason one more time. It's like Beetlejuice. It's like Bloody Mary. It's like the Candy Man. I will have to go off. So let's just we'll just leave that there. And then everyone's gonna get all pissed off. How dare he say that about Ryan Mason? You know what?
Oh
So you don't
dear.
think he gets sacked if we draw? If we draw 2-2, I think you flip a coin and it's about 50-50 if he stays or goes. You lose, I think it's about 85% sure he's gone.
Yeah.
You win, hey, you win. We just made it out the Titanic in a escape boat and we're
And Tottenham are
alive.
back.
Don't know
Tottenham are back.
oh, we're back. Oh, yeah, I've been saying that, but I said also we need some consistency. And I said the best way for Ainge to prove anything to his doubters is to just consistently get results. And what have we not done is the aforementioned. Yeah. So my score prediction, Kate. Jimbo says 4-1. You're saying 2-2? I think it's going to be like a 2-1. That's what I've been saying. 2-1 Tottenham. It's going to be a stinky win. A stinky, booty clinching. Ain't nobody, no one's feeling safe. No one's feeling, and we're all going to be like, oh, the whole time. And at the very end, be like, oh, we've got out of there. So I think it's going to be a cagey kind of, but I'm really hoping that the players will realize just how much is at stake here, because if we're talking about it this light, right, you got to imagine the pressure on the other end's got to be pretty fucking heavy. So I would hope.
This is what I was just going to say, Jacob. If the players are playing for Ange, you'll see it tonight. And if they're not, you'll see it, because this could
Well, they haven't been these last 4 matches. They haven't looked like they've been playing for Ange. It looked like they're trying to, I'm not going to say what they look like, actually, because this is Weird Tottenham TV. And make sure you are hitting a like over on Weird Tottenham TV. Make sure you stick around. The watch long will begin in just a little bit. But I'm saying 2-1, Sonny Brace. And you know, Tottenham may not be back, but Sonny, come on, son. I need you. Anything else before we go, Kate? You got any final words of positivity, of wisdom, or of apathy?
Look, it's 10 days till Christmas Day. We all need Christmas miracles. So let's say we go unbeaten until the new year. That's my Christmas wish and my Christmas miracle. Do I see it happening? Possibly not. But it is Christmas. So, you know, Santa might just be listening. And we may just get that win. Because whatever happens tonight, I'm already looking to Thursday, because we have got to beat Man United on Thursday without any shadow of a doubt. That cup is what we should be going for. So,
yeah. You know how United played today and how they've been actually looking not like a headless chicken with Amram thus far, and he just got there. So you got to imagine by that juncture they're going to have a little bit more belly under the belt, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm concerned, and that's again, if we don't get good results until then, and you get bounced out that quarterfinal, that may be it. To me, I've always said let him see out the year. Let's see where we end up and because European results have not been great, but we're still in and around. We play Hoffenheim up next. It's not great. You start off 3-0, 3 wins, no losses, no draws. Then you go and you lose 1 and draw 2. Now we're sitting there not in automatic promotion. So it is sticky, but we're still in it. FA Cup hasn't even really started for us. Carabao Cup quarterfinals. That's 3 competitions, 2 of which Eric Ten Hag won in the Premier League. So you can't tell me that we can't go do that. And that's where my hope is. That's where my because again, I always said I would take 10th and a Carabao Cup, and we are poised for that. You win today, we're still chilling right around 10th. You win versus United, we're still looking at that Carabao Cup. But look, none of that's up for grabs today. What's up for grabs today is 3 points at the St. Mary's Park, and Tottenham. Pretend it's the Saint City. Pretend it's the Saint Etihads. Pretend it's not Southampton. It's South Chester City, and there's a boat on their logo. All right, let's just pretend. We'll do a little role playing. It'll be fun. But anyway, folks. Again, my name's Jacob. I'm over at United Spurs of America. This is Kate at the perfect match with her husband, who is the perfect match. Jimbo, get well soon, buddy. We miss you. And look, folks, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.